commitment for more police in Saskatoon. Why the money won't necessarily mean boots on the ground soon. Closing arguments in the case against a man accused of killing his girlfriend. Why the defense says he is guilty of being stupid. And a verdict in the trial of a man charged in a killing from 19 years ago.
This is CTV News with Chantel Saunders.
Good evening. The province is adding nearly $8 million to the Saskatoon Police Service's budget. And while the service will put the dollars to use, recruiting and training new hires is proving to be a challenge. Keenan Sorokon explains.
More money from the province is setting up the Saskatoon Police Service for growth, but it doesn't guarantee it. The province is giving Saskatoon Police nearly $8 million to fund 54 positions in a number of different units and initiatives, but backlogs and recruitment struggles may prevent the public from seeing an immediate impact.
The way I would describe it is it's unrealized potential as of right now.
Earlier this year, Saskatoon Police were allocated half of the spots it requested from the Saskatchewan Police College, but work is happening to ensure that void will be filled next year.
We are doing that as quick as we can. I know that sometimes it's a snail's pace in some regards, but we're definitely working very hard to try to put the boots on the ground.
Rapid population growth and added demand on police services across the province is straining recruitment efforts. Many communities are now competing with each other for qualified applicants, and McBride says fewer people are interested in the career as senior staff continue to retire.
We're currently in an all-hands-on-deck scenario where we need to determine how we build back the interest in policing as a career option. It's really, really hard work.
McBride says this doesn't change the police budget going before City Council at budget deliberations on November 25th. A large portion of the police budget's increase is to account for a collective bargaining contract awarded by an arbitrator, as SPS looks to keep their budget lean while answering the growing call for more public safety. Keenan Sorokon, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Now to a verdict a Saskatchewan family has been waiting almost 2 decades to hear. Today, a jury found a man who could not be named as he was a minor at the time of the incident guilty of second-degree murder. Jacob Carr has more on the decision.
After nearly 2 days of deliberation, a 12-person jury reached a guilty verdict. And for the family of Misha Pavlik, this provides some closure.
So it's been 19 years we've been waiting, and nothing will bring Misha back. Yeah. But it's nice to be able to put this behind us a little bit and move on.
Pavlik was killed in May of 2006 following a fight at a high school graduation party at a campground near Last Mountain Lake. His father says Pavlik's young life was just beginning.
He was a young man who was just finding out who he was. So his script, his life story is not written. It ended that night. So all we have is our memories.
He had a huge smile, a ton of friends. People loved Misha.
Over the course of the 3-week trial, jury members heard from more than 30 witnesses, including police officers, a medical examiner, and those who were at the party the night of Pavlik's death. Pavlik's father told CTV News that his son was, quote, no angel in that exercise, but I know for a fact that he didn't go out there to die that night. Lauren went on to say that he is glad he was able to speak with Misha one last time before his death.
I finally got to hear confirmation that I actually placed a call had been placed to me as he was dying. And I got to tell him I loved him. It was going to be okay.
Justice Catherine Dawson has scheduled the next court appearance for the accused to Thursday, November 20th at 2 p.m. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
3 men have been charged in connection to a homicide that happened almost a year ago. On December 18th of last year, Saskatoon police were executing a search warrant at a house in the 1700 block of 22nd Street West. They arrived to find a person dead. His identity was not made public. On November 6th, 41-year-old Donovan Lemstra was arrested in Calgary and brought back to Saskatoon. Yesterday and today, 40-year-old Michael Landry and 27-year-old Michael McCallum were arrested in Saskatoon. All 3 were charged with first-degree murder, offering an indignity to human remains, and unlawful confinement. A 15-year-old Saskatchewan boy has been arrested in the death of a Calgary teenager. 16-year-old Carter Spivak Villeneuve was found dead in Calgary on August 1st. 3 15-year-olds were arrested this week and charged with first-degree murder. One of the accused was arrested on the Muskowhegan First Nation in southeastern Saskatchewan. The accused cannot be named under the Youth Criminal Justice Act. An RCMP officer with the Maidstone detachment has been charged following a call at a rural property near Lloydminster just over a year and a half ago. An investigation by the Saskatchewan Serious Incident Response Team found on April 3rd of 2024 at about 7:14 a.m. a family member of a 68-year-old man called RCMP asking for them to check on the man who they believed had died. The call was dispatched to an on-call member of the detachment. That afternoon at about 4:30, the relative called RCMP again to ask for an update on the wellness check. A few minutes later, the officer originally dispatched left the detachment. Just after 5 o'clock, another family member who went to the man's house called RCMP and told them the man was seriously injured but alive. RCMP got to the scene shortly after that call. The man was taken to hospital where he died. The RCMP officer charged faces 1 count of breach of trust by a public officer. No other details are being released as the matter is now before the courts. Well, Jeff, it appears another mild weekend is in store.
Indeed it is, and it looks like even the start to next week is going to be on the mild side. Take a walk on the mild side. A little bit of a messy situation down in parts of southern Saskatchewan, and even as we make our way into tomorrow, there may be in the southwestern corner a rain-snow mix, but for the most part, quiet conditions across the prairie provinces. We've got ourselves central and northern areas really weren't dealing with much in the way of precipitation at all today, and it doesn't look like that's going to be the, or rather it looks like that will be the case as we make our way into the weekend and the early part of next week. We'll talk about the long-range forecast in a little bit.
A dramatic crash overnight in the Sutherland neighborhood. Emergency crews were called to Zach's Home Hardware on Central Avenue, where a car crashed into the business. The sedan came to a stop inside the store, leaving its front windows smashed and some merchandise destroyed. The fire department says no one was inside the vehicle at the scene. No one was injured, and the scene was turned over to police to investigate. A driver has been ticketed after a 3-vehicle crash this morning. It happened at about 8:30 at the intersection of Preston Avenue South and 7th Street East. Police say 1 vehicle proceeded from a stop sign before it was safe to do so, colliding with a 2nd vehicle, pushing it into a 3rd. 1 person was taken to hospital to be treated for non-life-threatening injuries. The driver who left the stop sign too early was ticketed for proceeding before it was safe. A program that provides free menstrual products in Saskatchewan schools has been renewed. The products are donated by Shoppers Drug Mart and have been distributed by the provincial government to more than 670 schools in the last 2.5 years. The program ensures these products are accessible to women and girls who need them. The government says this reduces stress and embarrassment while increasing student attendance. Shoppers will donate 12 million period products during the next 3 years.
Shoppers has been, focused on women's health issues for the last 11 years, and this is clearly one that, impacts all women and something that we're very proud to support and be a part of.
All school washrooms have a sticker on the mirror telling students where menstrual products can be accessed. Saskatchewan's largest farm group is raising concern about foreign farmland ownership in the province. APAS is joining the Saskatchewan NDP in calling for careful monitoring of land purchases. Wayne Mantika has more.
About 40,000 farmland transactions take place in Saskatchewan annually. Non-Canadians are prohibited from purchasing farms, but APAS is hearing reports from farmers that it is happening.
On the RM map, it gives us an indication of who owns those lands, but quite often it's just a numbered company that nobody seems to know exactly who is owning it.
It echoes what the NDP has been saying in the legislature for the past couple of weeks.
One thing for that government, that minister, to be dismissed dismissive of the opposition. But it's another thing to be dismissive of the Agricultural Producers Association of Saskatchewan, or the producers of this province. Now, of course, they sent a letter to that minister yesterday, but I don't think he read it. I don't think he got the message.
The provincial auditor recently reviewed the situation and found that the Farmland Security Board did not request statutory ownership declarations for 50% of farmland purchases tested made by corporations not registered in the province. Since 2020, 5 orders have been issued to sell farmland inappropriately purchased by foreigners.
If the president of APAS or from APAS or SARM have evidence, or the member opposite has evidence, please bring it forward to the Farmland Security Board. Let them do their job. Thank you.
APAS believes farmers would like more reassurance that the government is carefully checking farmland transactions. It believes that could be done through the regular release of the number of transactions checked and whether any violations were found. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
During closing arguments in a Saskatoon murder trial, the defense argued the accused was stupid when he hid a gun and lied to police, but said he's not guilty of murder. Meanwhile, the Crown argues the accused has a habit of lying and was trying to deflect suspicion. CTV's Stacey Hine with those details.
The defense says Andrew Rosenfeld lied and made stupid decisions, but he didn't pull the trigger. Rosenfeld is on trial for second-degree murder in the death of his girlfriend, 20-year-old Nakira Brown. Brown was found dead in November 2022 inside the couple's apartment. Police later found a gun hidden in the box spring of their bed. Defense lawyer Chris Murphy suggests Rosenfeld was lying in bed when he heard a gunshot and found Brown dead. He says Rosenfeld panicked because he had an ankle monitor, drugs, and ammunition in the suite and hid the gun while on the phone with 911. Court heard that in his police interview the next day, Rosenfeld first claimed 2 masked men ran from his apartment after the shot. When officers said there was no video evidence of a break-in, he changed his account and said Brown shot herself. Murphy says Rosenfeld lied because he couldn't accept that Brown may have shot herself. He argues the evidence supports the self-inflicted shooting, pointing to no signs of a struggle and Brown's struggle with suicidal thoughts and depression. But the Crown says when Brown struggled with depression in the past, she reached out for help, and there was no indication she was suicidal the night she died. The prosecution says she was making plans to stay with her brother and go to detox, and points to her journal and witnesses who said she wanted to get sober and regain custody of her son. The Crown says the journal also details a volatile relationship and that Brown wanted to leave it. Once closing arguments wrap up, Justice Heather McMillan Brown will decide Rosenfeld's fate. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
The City of Saskatoon says renovations on Harry Bailey Pool are more than 3/4 complete. These photos were posted to Facebook yesterday showing the work being done on the pool. The facility was built in 1975, but it was shut down in March of 2023. Construction began in 2024 after sitting dormant for more than a year. Construction tenders came in higher than expected, forcing changes to the design. The city says the project is on pace to reopen to the public in September of 2026. Saskatoon's Gather Local Market is adding 6 new businesses to its list of vendors. Business and community leaders were at Gather Local Market this afternoon to unveil the new additions to the market. They include Wrap and Roll, Teresa's Naturals, Soda Stop, Sub-Saharan Cuisine, QB Art Collective, and Rebellion Brewing. Organizers say the new businesses will enjoy a sense of community with the others already established vendors in the market.
Once they move in here, they find that they have a family of business leaders, right, and business owners, because they really take care of one another is what I've seen. So it's also great because they can share resources, they can share information, and so they get to learn from one another as they're growing as well. Very cool.
The market is also doing special event nights on the weekends as well for the holiday season, including a visit from Santa. Well, Rider fans will be gathered around their TVs Sunday for the Grey Cup. One decided to go big, projecting the game on the side of a grain elevator. Jasmine Pelche reports.
After screening the World Series on the Canwood Grain Elevator northwest of Shellbrook, this weekend, Rough Riders fan Ryan Peekycoot will be projecting the Grey Cup.
I did game 6 and 7, and it got a lot of people coming out, and it went viral that time too, and it's pretty cool.
Peekycoot says he had the idea to screen the World Series when his band booked a gig at the bar across the road.
So we had hired Black Rain to come in to play on Halloween, and Ryan messaged us asking, well, what do you think if we could put the game up on the elevator?
Peekycoot is the owner of Lonesome Pine Hill Drive-In, so he had projection equipment on hand.
I put the projector on my dash, shine it through the air. And I've got speakers for people that want to listen out, that want to sit outside there. I put them on the roof, and I have an FM transmitter too, and so people can listen to vehicles.
The temporary drive-in drew enough attention that he screened Game 7, and says about 20 cars showed up, and a small crowd watched from the bar patio across the road.
We always had patio tables and chairs and whatnot, so they just jump up here and they're all watching the game from here.
After the World Series ended, Peekycoot says he started receiving messages asking him to screen the Grey Cup.
I'm from Atacacoop, and I went to school here in Canwood, and have a lot of friends from here and all that, and I've just been getting in touch with a lot of my friends and all that, and a lot of people. Like, it's just bringing people together.
He says it's still too early to tell if he'll screen more games after Sunday's big event. Jasmine Pelche, CTV News, Canwood.
Santa Claus is coming to town this weekend. Here's a look at the route for the 34th annual Santa Claus Parade set for Sunday starting at 1 p.m. It will wind its way through the downtown core, ending at Midtown Plaza. Jeff promises it won't be too cold and the parade will be done in time to watch the Grey Cup here on CTV starting at 5. And a quick reminder, nominations are open for the Saskatoon Citizen of the Year Award presented by CTV. The Citizen of the Year Award is given each year to an individual who exemplifies excellence in community service and is making a difference in our community. To find out how to nominate that special someone, guides are available here at CTV Saskatoon. You can also head to our website for more details. The deadline to submit your nomination is Friday, December 5th, and we will announce this year's recipient at the end of the year. Still to come, fresh criticism for the budget ahead of a crucial vote. Also, homegrown rider talent psyched for the Grey Cup. You're watching CTV News live from downtown Saskatoon. Thanks for staying with us tonight. The Grey Cup weekend is here after a week of anticipation in Rider Nation. The Riders are set to face the Montreal Alouettes, a matchup longtime Rider fans are very familiar with. Donovan Mace is taking in the Grey Cup festivities for us tonight. He joins us from Winnipeg. And Donovan, I think it's safe to say the party is well underway in Riderville.
Absolutely, and it's underway and it's not going to stop for quite some time, especially with what's going on this week with the team on the field. Lots of anticipation, the vibes are high, and why wouldn't they be, as fans here excited for what's to come on the weekend. Now, as important as this game is for fans across the province and throughout Rider Nation, there is a handful of players on this team which may know how important this game is more than anybody across Saskatchewan.
12 years ago, as a university freshman, Mitch Picton sat in the seats of Old Taylor Field as he watched his Riders win the Grey Cup in front of a home crowd.
Just seeing how excited the city gets and the fans are makes it pretty special.
Picton, along with 5 of his teammates, now wearing the same green and white they grew up loving.
Playing for the Riders, my hometown team, is a pretty special experience.
Joining the team in 2014, Saskatoon's Jorgen Hughes is the Riders' longest-serving player and is finally taking the field in his first Grey Cup.
A long time coming. Been dreaming about this day, obviously, since I was a little kid, started playing football. To play for your home province means a lot, obviously, and then to get to this game just means so much more. We've been trying, for so many years.
General Manager Jeremy O'Day has won 2 championships with the organization, in 2007 as a player and that 2013 win as an assistant GM.
Playing it safe, Cates dodging upfield. Look at him battle.
In 07, Wes Cates ran for a first down, and that's the moment when we knew we won. I was a center, so my next couple snaps I was worried about fumbling the snap, which was very nerve-wracking.
O'Day says there are several similarities between this team and previous ones playing in the final.
Some of the 9 and 10 teams that went to the Grey Cup, I think their belief in their head coach, their want to do good for their head coach, I think that can be kind of underestimated.
And while not from the province, teammates say they want more than anything to put a ring on the fingers of the hometown boys.
The Saskatchewan guys that I kind of just saw the joy in their face after us winning the West Final and them going to the Grey Cup for the first time in the green and white, and to finish the job is really what kind of motivates me.
Since then, I mean, since being able to play football in that small town of Melfort, that's been a goal of mine, and just to be here, it's a pinch yourself moment.
So it's not just the Rider players who are from Saskatchewan who have very vivid memories of watching Grey Cups. In fact, receiver Samuel Emelis telling us yesterday that his most distinct memory of watching a Grey Cup was back in 2009 when Montreal played Saskatchewan. He was watching the game in his childhood basement with his brother. The Alouettes obviously going on to win, a very sore spot for Rough Rider fans. A soft, sad memory there, but it's a game that allowed Emelis to fall in love with football, and now here he is this weekend playing in that game, this time in white. Chantel, we'll keep the party going here. We'll make sure it doesn't stop, and we'll send it back to you.
All right, we'll leave it in good hands. Thank you, Donovan. Donovan Mace reporting live for us at the Grey Cup festivities in Winnipeg tonight. And just a reminder, the pre-game show for the Grey Cup starts at noon Saskatchewan time on TSN with kickoff set for just after 5 p.m. You can watch that here on CTV. Well, just 3 days before the MPs cast their vote on the Liberal budget, a parliamentary watchdog is throwing cold water on the government's accounting and its promise to meet its own deficit targets. CTV's Judy Trin takes a closer look at where the gap is.
There is one figure all sides agree on. Budget 2025 comes with a whopping $78 billion deficit. Parliament's budget watchdog says that digging out of the hole will be harder than the Liberal government is letting on.
We think that the definition the government's used around capital investments is overly expansive. And in particular, they've thrown some things in there, some categories of spending, which other jurisdictions in other countries would not typically include.
Under Mark Carney, the budget is split into operational costs, day-to-day expenses like the salaries of public servants, versus capital investments, such as long-term funding for major projects.
The United States has changed. That's their right. We must respond. That is our imperative. And the budget builds Canada strong by focusing on what we can control.
Despite the record deficit, the finance minister says the government will balance the operating side in 3 years and shrink the deficit to GDP ratio starting next year.
100% of our MPs oppose the costly Carney credit card budget that is going to drive up the cost of food, housing, and living.
The government's categorization of $311 billion in capital investments is significantly higher than the watchdog's number of $217 billion. It's a difference of $94 billion that the budget officer says should be added to operational costs, making it less likely for the government to balance that side of the ledger.
In fact, over the 5-year horizon, the operating budget would not be balanced at all.
The budget watchdog is recommending that independent experts determine exactly what is a capital investment, given how subjective the definition can be. As for Monday, Parliament resumes, and the public should brace for another round of confidence votes on the budget. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
I'm Marcel. I'm the curator here at Wanuskewin Heritage Park.
I'm Erica, the assistant curator, and we have some exciting things coming up.
Run to the Hills will be here tomorrow. The reception will be from 6 to 8. It's going to be an exciting reception with refreshments, and the artist will be here as well.
And next Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m., we have the opening reception for Coming Back, created by Jerry Whitehead.
What's the weather like today, Jeff?
Well, the weather today was absolutely terrific, Marcel. And Marcel and Erica, I've got great news for the opening tomorrow at Wanuskewin of Run to the Hills. Things are looking pretty good. We've got ourselves a daytime high of 3 degrees, mainly sunny skies, so beautiful conditions. And once again, that opening reception takes place tomorrow between 6 and 9 p.m. For more information, wanuskewin.com. Now, current conditions, starting off with Saskatoon. We've got ourselves 0 degrees, 0 in Prince Albert, and 0 in the Battleford. So if 0 was your lucky number, you're a winner. All right, winds out of the west and 19 in Saskatoon. A little breezier in Prince Albert, and pretty much the same situation in terms of Saskatoon and the Battlefords being around that 20-click mark. So let's make our way to the almanac for Saskatoon. Now, it's a little tricky, yes. 12 degrees, I don't remember that. Well, you would have if you were thinking what the temperature was at midnight. That was the case. That's our 24-hour high. Mid-afternoon, it was around 4 degrees in Saskatoon, but 12 degrees stands as the record temperature, or the 24-hour high. Close, but not quite the record. 13 in 1953, minus 28 the record temperature from 1911. The sun came up at 8:25 and it went down at 5:16.
Coming up, the price of the penny, making sense of what they're worth years after going out of circulation.
Grey Cup weekend, everyone. Monday on your morning, the highlights or lowlights, if that's what it comes to, of this year's Grey Cup and the halftime show as your Riders take on the Alouettes.
Hi, I'm Taya LaBelle, and I'm a country rock artist from Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. My debut single, Life for Living, was just released in September, and this Saturday, November 15th, I'm having a single release party for it at the Capitol Music Club. Evan Baxter is going to be opening up the show at 8, and then me and my band are on. You can find tickets on Show Pass for $20 or at the door for $30. So, Jeff, what's the weather going to be like?
Well, Taya, I'm glad you asked. So, first of all, the Capitol Music Club, our next-door neighbors. But yes, indeed, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, daytime high on Saturday is going to be around 3 degrees. So by the time your show gets underway next door at the Capitol Music Club, well, it looks like it'll probably be around -1 thereabouts. So have a great show. And once again, thanks for letting us know about your event coming up. Lovely shot of downtown Saskatoon, a great shot of the traffic bridge, also known as the Victoria Bridge for many, many years, even though that wasn't the official name. We're going to bring up our current temperatures right now. 0 degrees in Saskatoon, Prince Albert, and the Battlefords. On to our hot and cold spot. Well, that was Outlook at the hot spot, but yes, that was the midnight temperature and Outlook, so 18 degrees, the official number for the province. Weyburn at -20, that is the provincial cold spot today. Around the province, current temperatures of -2 degrees in Lloydminster, 1 in Swift Current, 3 in Estevan and Regina, 2 in Yorkton. We have ourselves temperatures hanging around that 0 degree mark for the most part in central parts of the province. And up north, well, cools off a little bit. -7 in Stony Rapids, -6 in Key Lake. It's -3 in Buffalo Narrows and South End, -2 in La Ronge, and -1 in Sandy Bay, Island Falls. And down south, some coolish and sort of soggy, I can't say soggy, but light rain has been moving across southern Saskatchewan throughout the day. And so it's been a bit of a rainy situation. Carlisle at 3 degrees, 2 in Melville, 0 in Outlook, 1 in Leader, and -2 in East End, -8 in Weyburn. I think that's a glitch in Weyburn. We've got ourselves an interesting situation. As I mentioned, southwestern Saskatchewan could see some rain snow mix. You see that on the future cast. But central parts of the province are looking pretty good, and so is the north. Not much in the way of precipitation as that system that brought the snow to northern Saskatchewan moves into Manitoba and into Ontario. Cloudy or mainly cloudy skies for northern Saskatchewan, -3 for La Ronge and Buffalo Narrows, -8 for Stony Rapids, -7 in Key Lake. Temperature of 0 degrees for Meadow Lake tomorrow, 1 in Spiritwood, 3 in Kindersley, 1 degree warmer than that in Rosetown under Mainly cloudy skies in west central Saskatchewan. As I mentioned earlier, Maple Creek may see a rain-snow mix. 7 degrees tomorrow, though, for that southwestern city. Community 5 in Leader and 4 in Outlook and Swift Current. Into the southeastern part of Saskatchewan, temperatures hovering around 3 degrees with mainly cloudy skies for Regina, Moose Jaw, and Estevan. Big time sunshine for Yorkton and lots of sunshine for east central Saskatchewan. We've got ourselves -1 for Melfort's high tomorrow, 3 for Watrous, 1 in Humboldt, and 0 in Hudson Bay. Into the Battlefords, dropping down to -9 overnight. The wind's backing off. Not much of a wind tomorrow either. 2 degrees for a high. The same for Sunday, 3 to start the work week. And then temperatures sort of hang around that 0 degree mark for the next 4 days. For Prince Albert area, -7 overnight, 0 tomorrow with mainly sunny skies. 0 as well on Sunday, 2 on Monday. A 30% chance of flurries and -1 on Tuesday. And Saskatoon, -7 overnight with clear skies. The wind's backing off tomorrow. Perfect football weather, or great football weather, considering the time of year it is. Sunny and 3 degrees. Winds out of the south at 10. Of course, the Huskies playing host to the Golden Gales out of Queens tomorrow for the national semifinal. So please pack those stands at Griffith Stadium. And the 7-day outlook for the Bridge City, 2 degrees on Sunday, 5 to start the work week, 2 on Tuesday, 1 on Wednesday, 0 on Thursday, and Friday, 2 degrees. Authorities in Singapore have laid charges after Ariana Grande was rushed as she attended the Asian premiere of the next Wicked movie. Video clips of the incident have gone viral, with several of Grande's co-stars, including Cynthia Erivo, running to her defense. A 26-year-old Australian man faces a charge of being a public nuisance, and court documents said he would plead guilty. He faces a $1,500 fine, 3 months in jail, or both. Grande hasn't commented, but posted several pictures from the premiere with the caption, "Thank you, Singapore, we love you." Wicked for Good is out next Friday. The King of Pop is still breaking records 16 years after his death. Billboard is reporting Michael Jackson's Thriller returned to the top 10 in the Hot 100 singles charts this week. He is now the first artist to reach the top 10 in 6 different decades. And the Golden Globes confirmed this week that it will be granting the Carol Burnett Award for TV Achievement to Sarah Jessica Parker. The Sex and the City and Just Like That star will get the honor at a new annual primetime special called Golden Eve. Helen Mirren will receive the Cecil B. DeMille Award for Outstanding Contributions to the World of Entertainment. The main Golden Globes ceremony is set for January 11th, hosted for the second time by comedian Nikki Glaser.
All right, Jeff, time for the Friday edition of Pick of the Day.
We have 5 of them. All right, let's go. I know. I didn't tell you ahead of time.
You did not.
For a good reason. Anyhow, this one comes to us from Beverly. Wednesday night in Prince Albert, around 9:30. We have, some lovely shots of the Northern Lights, and this is another one, just a few pics from our farm near Rosetown coming up here. There we go. The next one, just some shots from Rosetown, some lovely shots there. That's from Brent and Jewel, I believe, as well. The next one, this was a bit more somber. Well, no, that one jumped up there. We have a picture here for the riders, and this is from the shots in Watrous. We figured doubling up for support, and good luck for the riders on Sunday. Couldn't hurt. Go Riders, go. And we have this one, as I say, a bit more somber. I still wanted to show it from November 11th. This is from a farm south of Vanscoy, and Dave sent that our way. And finally, Bob and Tracy sent us this one. Go Huskies in the Mitchell Bowl tomorrow. So thank you for all those pictures. And if you'd like to share an image with us, you can do so by sending it to cfqcnews@ctv.ca or scan the QR code and send those pictures our way.
Still to come on CTV News, Cash for Coins, why you could get much more than a penny for your thoughts. Is saying goodbye to the penny, with the last one minted yesterday. In Canada, it's been more than 10 years since penny production stopped, but collectors say if you're still holding on to them, the 1-cent coin could be worth more than you think. Here is CTV's Heather Centerin.
These are U.S. pennies.
Tom Sandham is a collector.
This is an 1858. This is the first year of the Canadian penny.
He started with coins. Now he's part owner of Colonial Acres Coins in Kitchener.
I started doing this when I was 15, so just kind of got out of control and turned into a job as opposed to a hobby, I guess.
On Wednesday, the U.S. Mint ended penny production. Sandham says it's about time.
My thoughts are I can't believe that they were still making pennies in the last, 20 years or so.
Even though he's around cash and coins often, he says the average person doesn't carry that anymore.
So it was kind of obsolete a long time ago. Of course, Canada stopped in 2012, so it makes sense that they finally decided to stop.
2012 is when production for the Canadian penny stopped, and it was withdrawn from circulation in 2013.
I might have a few old pennies, like I sometimes have a coin collection of just old coins or whatever.
If you're still holding on to the 1-cent piece and want to get rid of it, banks still accept them, but you might want to check the dates on them first. In 1997, the penny's composition changed to a cheaper zinc and steel core. Before that, they were made of copper.
Pure copper. And of course, we've heard on the open market, like copper keeps climbing in price. So a penny actually melts for about 3 cents now. So I buy them for 2 cents and sell them for 3 cents as just a commodity of copper value.
And if you have a really old penny or even an original from 1858, when the coin was first made, Sandham says, don't bring it to the bank.
What's happened is the collector value, like an 1858 penny in average condition, sells for about $75. So why would you, right? You can get more from someone like me, right?
Some wonder, could the Canadian nickel be next on the chopping block?
It's like there's no use to carry like small bits of change nowadays.
When asked about if that could happen, a spokesperson for the Royal Canadian Mint said he could not comment on the future of any coin denomination. Heather Centerin, CTV News, Kitchener.
When we come back, a couple of riders honored among their peers, and later one man's pastime while waiting in Saskatoon.
All right, welcome back. And now it's time to take a look at the rural forecast, and things are looking good again. Look at this weekend numbers, these Saturday numbers. Very nice indeed. Lloydminster, 2 degrees, mainly sunny, a bit more cloud, but warmer in Kindersley, 3, 4 in Outlook, 3 in Watrous, 0 in Meadow Lake. That's still pretty good for mid-November, rather. And then even though it dips down to -1 in Melfort, that's still above seasonal. 0 in Hudson Bay, 1 in Wynyard. Down south, yes, a little bit warmer, but interestingly enough, Maple Creek, 7 degrees, but there is the risk of a rain-snow mix, and there's snow expected in parts of the East End, Cypress Hills area, 2 degrees, but 2 in Rockland, 3 in Coronach, 2 as well in Carlisle and Broadview, 4 in Lumsden and Rosetown, so Leader 5 degrees, so some warm temperatures out there by mid-November standards to be sure. Bethune is one of those places, 4 degrees tomorrow for a daytime high, winds out of the south at 20, so a pretty pleasant day shaping up. And don't forget, in early December, or maybe mid-December, I think it's around December 13th, Bethune has their Twinkle Tour and Craft Sale going on, and you can check that out in Bethune. And Bethune is one of the places where internet plans of up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel.
A couple of Rough Riders took home some hardware last night at the CFL Awards.
The winner is Jamarcus Hardrick, Saskatchewan Rough Riders.
Jamarcus Hardrick was named the 2025 CFL's Most Outstanding Offensive Lineman. It is the first time in his 11-year career that he has received the honor. It comes a season after he thought his career was over after suffering a season-ending injury last year.
It's because more than me, it's a most outstanding teammate, most outstanding wife, most outstanding fans, most outstanding support. I didn't do this alone. I had trainers who I shared videos with. They probably got tired of me. They told me I need to slow down. I just kept going, and just happy, man.
The Riders' Logan Ferland was honored with the Jake Goddard Veterans Award as the player who best represents the attributes of Canada's veterans for his off-field work with several organizations, including the Jim Pattison Children's Hospital.
I've been involved with them personally. I was also premature, born premature, and shared a very special bond with a little boy named Henry Cafe, one of the families I will be thanking as well. Jim Paslin Children's Hospital, very, very close to my heart. Being able to go there and just represent, again, our province and talk to the kids, and that's something that's really important to my heart, especially being in the NICU myself, being able to reach out to them. So that's what I would say. That's the closest one to my heart.
This is the 5th straight year a rider has won this award. As for the big awards, Lions quarterback Nathan Rourke won Most Outstanding Player and Most Outstanding Canadian, while the Lions' Matthew Betts won Most Outstanding Defensive Player. Coach of the Year will be awarded at a later date. A week after being suspended by the team for an incident at practice, Swift Current Broncos head coach Dean De Silva has resigned from his position. Team GM Chad Leslie says it was mutually determined. It was in the best interest of both De Silva and the organization. A WHL disciplinary investigation found that De Silva breached the WHL standards of conduct administering player discipline once during a game on October 24th and another at a practice on October 27th. The WHL suspended De Silva for 5 games ending on Remembrance Day and fined the Broncos organization $10,000. Assistant Reagan Darby will be the interim head coach until further notice. This is the second time in the last 3 seasons a Broncos head coach has parted ways with the team after on-ice incidents. Enbridge has approved an investment that will see more Canadian heavy oil sent to the U.S. Morella Fernandez explains.
The Canadian pipeline operator will spend $1.4 billion to increase the amount of oil it sends south. That investment will allow Enbridge to send another 150,000 barrels of oil a day through the mainline network, which runs from western to eastern Canada and the U.S. Midwest. And it will add 100,000 barrels a day to the Flanagan South pipeline, which runs to the U.S. Gulf Coast. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down a fraction to 71.30. West Texas Intermediate crude is up over $1 to 59.95. Western Canadian Select is up, but only by 13 cents to 46.90. And the TSX gained only 72 points, a small reversal after yesterday's big drop of over 500 points. Those are your business headlines. I'm Morella Fernandez.
Coming up, how one man has most marathoners beat. Then when your pastime goes around in circles.
Select Hair Service is brought to you by Sage, the beauty bar.
Salmon's good too.
Stay with us. We've got another full night of great shows for you right here tonight on CTV. Well, many people never run 7 marathons in a lifetime, right? But this guy did it in a year.
3, 2, 1. Boston.
Max Fulton has earned all 7 finishers medals from the 7 Abbott World Marathon Majors, and he did them all this year, 2025. It's a feat not a lot of people have done because before this year, there were only 6 marathon majors. By the way, the 7 are Chicago, New York, Boston, London, Tokyo, Berlin, and now Sydney.
Everybody talk about pop music. Oh, sorry. I thought we were starting to sing along.
Oh, well, you can carry on.
No, we're good.
All right, well, what do you do when you are killing time, just waiting around, right? Well, you can answer that later. For this cowboy who is from the Yorkton area, you do some roping. Abe met one of our photographers, Dan Shingoose, along 8th Street yesterday, telling him he and his wife are expecting a baby and they're just waiting around for the little one to arrive. So as they tried to be patient, Abe decided to show Dan some of his talents. And apparently he's not a professional competitor, but he sure could be.
I tell you, that's some pretty fancy rope tricking there going on. And do we have this person's contact information to find out about the baby or anything like that?
No, this is just one of the many people Dan met in his many travels.
And it's going to become a new segment called Dan's People.
But if they're watching, we'd love to hear about it.
I know, we would. We'd love to hear that. And we'd also like to make sure people know that the Twinkle Tour and craft sale in Bethune is on December the 7th.
Yes.
December the 7th.
Don't want to be spreading lies.
I do not.
Thanks. December 7th.
Pure thoughts and deep breathing.
Yeah. No lies with the forecast, right?
No lies with the forecast. It's going to be a great Saturday. Let's take a look at some numbers. Oh, no numbers, I've been told. But tomorrow, 3 degrees. Looks like it's going to be a great day for football at Griffith Stadium.
And Sunday, 1 o'clock downtown, the Santa Claus Parade. And
that's right.
Be decent.
Very nice. Yeah, exactly. You don't have to bundle up as much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just a little.
A little bit.
All right. Chad Hills is one of our many talented colleagues here at CTV, and he took a trip to the Weir this week and took some stunning images. So we'll leave you with that tonight.
That's going to be the name of his new book of poetry, A Trip to the Weir.
Yeah, and I get the credit for it, though. I get
yeah, you get to wet your beak. You get to wet your beak.
Yeah. Okay. Have a great and safe weekend.
Go Riders!